But the Barrow-Downs are just so cool. I'm not allowed to skip the Barrow-Downs. So the Barrow-Downs, this recap, are where this was originally called Tyrn Gorthad. Actually, that's the direct translation of the Barrow-Downs. This is where the Dunedain would bury their dead, the Dunedain of the Kingdom of Cardolan. And so, when back in the day, when the Witch King of Angmar was still a guy, no, was not. He was no longer a guy. When he became a ring wraith. Basically, forces from Angmar came in and attacked the Kingdom of Arnor. And in Cardolan, there was a great battle, and they retreated to the south. There's a place called Gorthad, which is where they were supposed to have holed up. And all of their dead were left out here. So this wandering shade and his brother were probably Cardolanians who were involved in that conflict, and were buried here. Right. So up here, so we have the northern Barrow-Downs. So the northern Barrow-Downs and the southern Barrow-Downs. This is presumably supposed to be like a place where they hold up. But they did bury their dead in this part. Tyrn Gorthad translates to like the Mounds of the Dead, or something along those lines. The Kingdom of Cardolan itself actually was all of this, like almost to Enedwythe. This was just the northernmost part of it, and so short answer is yeah, the Witch King came in and wrecked them all, but he did it over the course of several hundreds of years. First there was a great battle which pushed them further south. Then there was a plague, which which was described as coming out of Angmar, and that killed a lot more Dunedain. And then the final fall of Cardolan was when it's described fell spirits from Angmar came back and possessed all the dead. And so that's what all these whites and such are supposed to be. And then they came and destroyed the last remnants of Cardolan. Any survivors of Cardolan joined up with Arthedain, which is more in the Breland area. So yeah, there's a lot of history in these Barrow-Downs. But that's why, if you recall from the books, the Barrow-Downs didn't make it into the movie. But in the books, the swords that Merry, Pippin, Sam, and Frodo were gifted from Tom Bombadil from the Barrow where they were imprisoned. Those were crafted by Númenóreans, by the Dunedain, and they were described as having spells woven in them to bring about the downfall of the Witch King of Angmar. Lore nerd cred. I gotta talk about something, don't I? It's sort of the elephant in the room if I don't talk about it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, that's right. And so that was when in the final battle at the Pelennor Fields, where it's Merry and Éowyn versus the Witch King. We've since established that Éowyn Éowyn struck the final blow. So it was indeed a woman who was the undoing of the Witch King. Because as the prophecy goes, no man can defeat him. But she would not have been able to defeat him if he hadn't previously been stabbed by that enchanted sword, which Mary had been hanging on to for all those months. A man... No, a man could... I'm not sure if that's a typo or if maybe you misheard. A man could not kill him. The prophecy was like he cannot be... Man. I think it was going so well too. Crash counter 1. No, the prophecy of Glorfindel is that his doom lies far off, but he shall not fall to mortal man, something like that. And so that's why it's the sort of, when Éowyn shows up, he's all arrogant, he's like, haha, I can't be defeated by mortal man. And then she says, well, check again, because I'm a woman. But, you know, on the other hand, if Mary hadn't been there, if Mary didn't have that sword, which means if Frodo didn't disobey Gandalf and go through the Barrow-Downs, then the Witch King would not have been able to be defeated. And so that's why there's like that one last sentence at the end after he's defeated, that the man of Westerness was long since dead, but he would be glad to know that the sword that he forged brought about the downfall. I mean, this is definitely going to be a highlight of the history of the Barrow-Downs.